Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to those in television land. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to our silent viewers. Happy Friday to those in the chat. Chuck Life, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday.
Big myself, Chuck Life.
Burning Fly saying fully active.
All
Welcome,
right.
welcome, Chuck Life. Thank you so much for your continued support. Okay, so welcome to Mystic Sensation Live with your host Baron and Anne Marie. And the topic for this Friday is the criminal masterminds of our education system. So remember, guys, when you're coming in, remember to thumbs up the live, share us out. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. And I am not going to delete tonight. I'm going to hand over to Baron. But before I do that, welcome to those on Facebook. Happy Friday to you. And thank you so much for your continued support. And to all our new subscribers, thank you so much for joining the team. And also thank you to our subscribers who's continued to support us. Really appreciate each and every one. Okay, Baron, you can go ahead. I'm just gonna do some housekeeping.
Thank you, Annie, as always, doing a wonderful job. Arthur Phillips, big up yourself.
Welcome, Arthur. Happy Friday.
And once again to my ardent listeners, right? I thank you very much to always visit us right on a Friday, so that of course we can address the issues that really pertaining to our sweet Jamaica. Now we are very passionate as it relates to bringing back Jamaica, right? We have seen that corruption is the order of the day, and there is no doubt as it relates to this current government. But before I get into the program, right, there is 3 news items that I want to address, right? And I am going to make it clear. Now, let me speak to us Jamaican, right? Both locally and in the diaspora. As it relates to our country at this time, and significantly what is on the ballot at this time: honesty and integrity. We are not to bear short memory as it relates to the level of corruption that crippled this government. We have seen this particular government, right, break the Ministry of Education to its knees. And so then that is going to have serious, extremely serious implications that I will be addressing later. Now, the 3 news agenda items that I want to speak about, right, is number 1, Zara Burton, 18 degrees North investigation as it relates to Mark Golden. And number 2, a new fine as it relates to guns ammunition, and those are just introductions. And of course, the 3 PNP councillors, right, that had resigned. And I just want to just deal with these 3 events before I venture into the program. Now, I realize that it seems like when it comes to Mark Golden, he has to prove himself beyond the ordinary, right? And it seems as if that each time the Jamaica Labour Party government messed up, the anticipation is that what Mark Golden is saying, what Mark Golden is doing. And let me say this. Mark Golden, as opposition, yes, he has the right to oppose. But one has to understand that the Prime Minister and his level of corruption, controlling the media, most of what Mark Golden has been doing out there is not being highlighted. And that is the truth of the matter, not being highlighted. And so then we have to understand that we here on social media who fighting for our country, right? And need nation building. We are going to defend our country as it relates to honesty and integrity and get rid of corruption. Our focus will be always positive. We are not going to stop and will never stop support Mark Golden, providing that he continues to be the character that he is. And as he continues to shape our politics, right, as it relates to democratic socialism. Now, let me get into last night, right, I have heard some information as it relates to an investigation done by Zara Burton. And the inferences was to say that, okay, there were some amount of implication as it relates to the Zara Burton report from 18 Degrees. My people, let me say this to you. I have been following Zara Burton because myself is an investigator, certified and licensed. And I know that Zara Burton is a professional and very articulate investigator. Zara Burton maintained solid discipline. So when I heard that Zara Burton from 18 Degrees, right, the way how it was mentioned, it appears as if what Mark Golden had promised as it relates to the 80% that he was going to donate, that he did not carry through. And so then I went and researched, and I have that report to show my ardent listeners. That you see sometimes when you have people, right, want to nitpick and put Zara Burton in a corner to say that Zara Burton, right, is eating Mark Golden. I have the report, and that is far away from the truth. I am going to let everyone see the report. And what that report has confirmed, indeed, only shows that Mark Golden has strong principle as it relates to honesty and integrity. What this report had given us, that Mark Golden made a promise, and that promise was delivered. The report also speaks in length that Mark Golden should have revealed that one of the programs that he donated to, that him, Mark Golden, established that program, right, as it relates to the internal organization, right, him farming that program in the benefit of his supporters. Nothing wrong with that, right? He provided the fund, right, as it relates to, People's National Party supporters, and those persons in his constituency, right, who are in need, right, poor people who are in need. And in his constituency, it is not only PNP supporters are there, Jamaica Labour Party supporters are there. So then let us stop from breakdown, right, and giving Jamaican, you understand, confining them to a party. We are all Jamaicans. And so then when Mark Golden, right, do that donation, right, that donation goes to Jamaican. Without any further ado, so let me break down and dismiss, right, that information that is out there to say that Zara Burton report is hitting Mark Golden. It is far away from the truth. And tonight, I'm glad that my ardent listeners are here. I am going to share the report, and we are going to read the report. And again, I want to say big thanks to Mark Golden, right? Promise made, promise delivered. Without any hesitation, let me just show all the report that confirm that Mark Golden made a promise and made a delivery. Remember, I said to you that Zara Burton is a very good reporter. Very good reporter. I have nothing against Zara Burton. Zara Burton is a professional reporter. Now, I accept the report that Zara Burton had done as it relates to Mark Golden. But I hope that when I bring an investigation that Zara Burton done about the Jamaica Labour Party, particularly the leader, I hope the Jamaica Labour Party accept that. Zara Burton is indeed professional. So we are going to go through that report. I like the person that, let me answer that. Okay. So Zara Burton, Glennox Smith said Mark Golden is working with a clean slate. The other side are pushing for another 80 election, crime and violence, but Mark is not the politicians to make that move. 110% right, Mr. Glennox Smith. Really applaud that comment. So we are going to show Jamaica, we are going to show the diaspora that Mark Golden indeed, right, as what Glennox said, clean slate, right, honesty and integrity. We are not going to waste any time. So we are going to go into that report for persons, the entire globe to see it. Zara Burton investigation into Mark Golden. Promise made, promise delivered. Honey, play that clip.
Okay, so welcome to everyone who's just joining in. Hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week and looking forward to our wonderful and restful weekend.
Okay, Ricardo Taylor, good evening, Mr. Byron. Well, you still have people saying that the JLP is going to win this upcoming election because they said that the people love Andrew Holness. Well, let me say this, Ricardo.
It's a shake ahead.
We, right, has to come to a conscious state of mind Because I'm going to expose tonight some of the corruption. And you know what? I do believe that my Jamaican people have an understanding that they want a better future. And I'm going to dig deep in highlighting the corruption. Right? And so then, our platform is one that deals with high credibility. Anything that we are going to speak on, we are going to research it. We are going to come with facts. We are coming with the evidence. And so then when we do that, for people to see, I have no doubt that the Jamaican people are going to move in the direction of Mark Golding, because we're tired of the corruption. This Jamaican Labour Party is not hiding their corruption. It's flush into your face. This government has no intention to hide anything. Bullyism and autocracy. But we, the electorate, this time around, we have the handle, and we have to show them that we have the handle. We are their employers. You can see that they are making every effort in telling the Integrity Commission not to say anything to the public, because we who employ them, we don't need to know. And that is the first line of disrespect. The first line of disrespect. We are their employers. We are the people. So let me say this to Jamaican people before I go into the Zara Burton report. Jamaicans, never believe that politicians are doing you a favor. And that is the paradigm shift I want you to make. No politician is doing you a favor. You are paying your tax. You are paying your tax. So when a politician, like what Darrell Vaz is doing, fixing road in St. Thomas, and want the people believe that, okay, it is Darrell Vaz doing it. Darrell Vaz, you're not doing anything for the people. It is taxpayers' money that they should have gotten that sort of road long time. Water that the people need to get. They are paying their tax money. So don't look on politicians as if politicians are doing something for you. We pay them to represent us. And this is the representation that we are talking about. And we are going to go against the criminal behavior of this party. So without any further ado, tonight we are going to break down some stuff. We are going to expose some stuff. And we will be speaking nothing but the truth. So then the first lie that we want to dismiss is we are going to look into the Zara Burton report, right? And any inferences to say that Zara Burton, you understand, is hitting Mark Golding, right? And that Zara Burton, right, is, you know, I don't, it is just silly. So let us go through the report together and we are going to read it together.
Okay, all right, let me just bring it up and share it again. Welcome to everyone who's just joining. Happy Friday. As usual, it's quite a bit to go through. Okay.
No tax.
All right, let me just get out of that. Okay. Let me just make sure it's sharing properly. Okay.
Yeah, so we want for everyone to see the report, right? And so then, are they seeing it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the content of the report, let me begin. 18 degrees north investigations. And let me say, Zara Burton, right? I think wonderful job, right? I applaud your investigation, Zara Burton. Let me get that out of the way. Subscriber content in solidarity with some dissatisfied public sector workers over their treatment by the government amid an almost 200% salary increase recently granted to members of parliament. Jamaica opposition leader Mark Golden said last month he had donated 80% of his salary increase to worthy causes, approximately $5.4 million. In a related release, his People National Party, in bracket PNP, referenced the $5.4 million amount and stated that the donations have been allocated to the following charities: Missionaries of the Poor, Mustard Seed Communities, Food for the Poor, Joytown Community Development Foundation, OT Fairclough Trust Fund, Jamaica Paralympic Association. It added that by directing his financial resources towards these organizations, Mr. Golden aims to make a meaningful impact on the lives of vulnerable individuals and marginalized community. We go further in the report as my wife scrolled up. But questions are being raised about the decision by Mr. Golden to donate to the OT Fairclough Trust Fund, which he mentioned for the topic there, which was launched by Mr. Golden himself to benefit PNP party workers. Nothing wrong with that. There's also limited transparency around the trust since it's not registered at the Companies Office of Jamaica. Just curiosity as it relates to Zara. Once more, 18 Degrees North has recently learned that of the roughly 5.4 million stated by the PNP to have gone to the 6 charities, more than 1 million went elsewhere, casting doubt about the fullness of Mr. Golden's statement and the PNP media release. So they are going to find out what really happened with that. So they are going to probe it now. So let us go down in the bottom. Let us dissect this report. What was suggested versus what actually being done. The discrepancy became apparent when 18 Degrees North began quizzing Mr. Golden on how much of the approximately 5.4 million was donated to each charity. Mr. Golden refused to do so, claiming, "I do not have the permission of the receiving donor institutions to do that." Mr. Golden was lying. 18 Degrees North then began reaching out to the institution themselves for answers on the morning of Tuesday, June 20. As an investigator like myself, yes, proceed for checks and balance. Except for the Missionaries of the Poor, which indicated that they had received $1 million from Mr. Mark Golden, Missionary of the Poor, admitted. The other institutions either didn't respond or didn't disclose the information. Major Richard Cook of the Joytown Community Development Foundation, that primarily does work in Mr. Golding's constituency in the community of Trenchtown, said he had have to check with Mr. Golden first, but he didn't call back. Almost 3 weeks later, 18 Degrees North called to follow up and was told to speak with Mr. Golden. Then on Wednesday, June 21st, Mr. Golden wrote to 18 Degrees North offering to break down the general categories of his spending and outlining for the first time that not all of the money went to institutional donees. Let us go down. He detailed that 6,771,303 was the total retroactive pay increase he had received, which means that 80% would be 5,417,042. He said that 4.2 million was donated to the institution, right? 252,000 went to items for the public hospital, which he later clarified was the Kingston Public Hospital, and 965,425 was allocated towards billboards of young achievers in Trenchtown and Jonestown. Both communities are situated in Mr. Golding's South St. Andrew constituency. My audience, nothing wrong with that. If you look clearly, as it relates to an Excel document breaking down the money, 80 on the left, 80% of the 6,771,303 retroactive increase that he had gotten. Let us look on the institutional institutional donations, right? 4,200,000. Billboard of Young Achievers in Trenchtown, 965, right? $425. Items for public hospital, 252,000, right? And where you have the total here, 5,417,425. There it goes, right? In terms of there's no variances there. Everything is accounted for, right? And a little extra there. So Mark Golden, promise made, promise delivered. Mr. Golden explained that the billboard, so Mr. Golden is now going to explain, right, as it relates to each donation items. Mr. Golden explained that the billboard, which have been commissioned and are being made, will show inspiring images of outstanding achievers from those communities like recording artists, Lali and Nesbeth, and footballer Shamar Nicholson. He outlined that the aim of the billboard is to promote self-confidence and self-belief among young people. Go Mark Golden, love you. We love you for that. The billboards will not bear my name, nor reference me, and will not be politically branded, Mr. Golden stated. When asked why he didn't tell the public before now about the billboard, Mr. Golden responded, I didn't think it made sense to mention them prior to them existing. They represent less than 20% of what was given away. I don't see where it make any sense either. However, he expressed that all expenditures made are unworthy causes, which is the commitment I made in his video release. Mr. Golden did say that he donated 5,417,000 to worthy cause, including the charities. He told 18 Degrees Now that if the PNP release gave the impression that the charities were only beneficiaries, that was an error and is regretted. The reaction, let us scroll down for the public to see. The reaction to the disparity, but when told that more than 1.2 million of the 5.4 million went to unannounced causes, political commentator Peter Espute said there is some dissembling because that's not the impression that was given. Okay, fine. He added that even if Mr. Golden erects a billboard without his name on it, people in the community will know, and it is still going to redound to his benefit. So there is no talking there in terms of whether, and there is a billboard, people. Let me show the billboard that is there, that is a part of the donation, highlighting them. So there is nothing that Mark Golden is hide. There is the billboard highlighting what he said, what he promised, delivered. Let us scroll up. Let us scroll up. Indeed, a tweet surfaced on July 6 after the boards were erected, credited Mr. Golden for the billboard, despite each sign being stamped with a message board donated by Arnett Gardens FC, which is the football club in Mr. Golden's constituency, of which he is a chairman. Peter Telwell, general manager and director of the club, told 18 Degrees Now that while the club owns the billboard spaces and he endorses the idea, the club didn't pay for the designs and printing of the billboard. His Mr. Golden PR team handled everything. He said he's not sure why the club was named as the donor of the board. Mr. Golden PR team later clarified it was because the club donated the board space, which it did. Reaction to the donation to the OT Fairclough Trust. On the donation of the OT Fairclough Trust, though a separate entity from the PNP, Mr. Espute wrote, I do not consider donations to that trust to be charitable, in the same sense as mustard seed. It is a political donation to his party. The idea was that poor people would benefit, he said, not PNP, right? I don't know where he's going with that, right? The OT Fairclough Trust Fund was launched in December 2020 by Mr. Golding to assist struggling PNP party workers. Scroll up. It was one of the first initiatives he delivered, and when he emerged from a hotly contested election as the party president. That contest between him and Lisa Anna further divided the PNP, which had already been split after a colleague of Mr. Golding, fellow MP Peter Bunting, had challenged then President Dr. Peter Phillips for the post in September 2019 and lost. Lifelong PNP supporter Gladstone Thompson Jr., also known as Junior Socrates, who sided with Dr. Phillips and Lisa Anna in each contest and doesn't support Mr. Golding, said the recent donation by Mr. Golding to the OT Fairclough Trust is merely a way to buy loyalty with the workers to help people forget about the division they created in the party. Though acknowledge that Mr. Golding has the right to donate to whomever he wants, he questioned. Does he have the right to use his money to manipulate or deceive people? I don't think that that was the intention in terms of supporting persons in his constituency. So I don't see where that goes. That sounds like our bad mind argument. It may be too early to know if the donations will help Mr. Golding politically. But a poll commissioned by the PNP and conducted by noted pollster Dan Anderson between June 18-14, around the time when Mr. Golding announced donations, showed that while the PNP party he leads is gaining more grounds on the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, Mr. Golding's favorability rating declined to 12.1% from 14.7%. Neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that PNP is going to definitely kick out JLP, and we don't care. Are there other donors to the OT Fairclough Trust? Mr. Golding also appears to be only benefactor of the trust, seeding in with 15 million of his own money, which he confirmed to 18 Degrees North was a gift to the trust, not alone. But according to the treasurer of the trust in an interview last year, Keisha Anderson, who is also a treasurer of the PNP, that donation at the time was the only one received as the trust had not started fundraising efforts yet. Though Mr. Golding says he believes there may have been other donors, the chairwoman of the trust, Catherine Chassery, confirmed last week that Mr. Anderson had told 18 Degrees North last year still stand that they're working on a fundraiser of October 2023. Ms. Chassery wouldn't disclose how much has been spent from the trust so far, saying only that the trust has completed a housing project and is embarking on 2 others presently. She also said they have had 2 rounds of scholarship grants, 1 event of the trust last year attached by 18 Degrees North at the party's headquarters, gave out bursaries totaling amount of $600,000 to high school, tertiary students who were family members of the party workers. Nothing wrong with that in terms of Mark Golding's support internally. Awesome work. The OT Fairclough Trust Fund isn't registered at the Companies Office of Jamaica, but the trust deed is registered at the Registrar General Department. That means that unlike the other donee organizations that are registered at Companies Office and are required to file annual returns and financial statement that becomes open to the public, the OT Fairclough Trust doesn't have these filing requirements. This was in part why Mr. Golding said he chose to establish the entity as a trust within its own governance structure rather than a company, because the upfront and annual costs and bureaucratic requirements of incorporation would be more burdensome. But that means there's limited transparency about how the trust operates or whether Mr. Golding funds were ever received. Indeed, when asked about the amount recently donated, Mr. Golding, Ms. Casserly, would only say in an email, yes, indeed, OTF Trust Fund did receive. So that confirmed the probity right there. A personal donation, however she wrote, it's not our policy to disclose amount received from individual donors. Well, I mean, policies are policies and people obeying policies, simple as that. The RGD says any member of the public can get a copy of the OT Fairclough Trust deed, which may show the objectives of the trust, the persons behind the trust and its value, which is updated only if the trustees want to do so. It's said to obtain a copy of the trust deed costs close to 18,000, which is out of the range that this publication can afford to pay for a single document. In addition to the retroactive pay he got, Mr. Golden says he's now received his monthly increase, 80% of which is approximately 583,000. He wrote last week, I will be spending it on worthy causes to be identified over the next 4 weeks. So Mr. Golden, in extension, want to do a lot more. So here is a document proving that. Mr. Golden says it's unlikely that the same organization will receive support next time around. He says he will continue making these donations until he's satisfied that the main issues of concern affecting rank and file public sector's workers have been addressed.
Okay, just before you continue, let me just clarify something up here.
Okay.
That you said you weren't sure what he was referring to.
Yes.
When it was said that not only the money is to benefit, the idea was that poor people would benefit, he said, not PNP.
Not PNP.
So that means everybody who is in need, whether GLP or PNP, UIC, whatever, they will benefit as long as they are in need and the money is donated.
Okay, so let us move that document and let me talk to the people. Okay, so people, there you go. As it relates to Zara Burton, which I believe that Zara Burton is a very good investigator. There's nothing in there that would implicate Mark Golden to say that, okay, Mark Golden promised to donate and he didn't donate. Let me say this clear and categorically. Mark Golden is not Andrew Holness that claimed that he had given back the money and has not given it back. Mark Golden has integrity. Zara Burton is indeed a very good investigator. So I am not going to bash Zara Burton. So for persons who nitpicking and taking pieces to say, okay, right, it can be this. It is okay for probity, right, which Zara Burton did. And I am feeling pleased that promise made, promise delivered. The fact of the matter, where people want to contemplate that, okay, he might be donate the money to his organization that he created to help poor people. Mark Golden did not say it's only PNP supporters will be getting it. Everyone who in the constituency, whether you are PNP, GLP, whether you are UIC, whether you are whatever, right? Mark Golden represent Jamaicans, not only PNP. So then, someone tell me, my hardened listeners, I have read that report. We have gone through, and you know the reason why I've gone through the entirety of the report, because I don't want to leave anything out. And so then when people are going to comment on that report, twisting to say that Zara Burton, you understand, want to imply as if Mark Golden did something wrong. Nothing in the report highlighted that. So then, let me say it. I don't have the understanding of some person's comprehension. Might be depending on the person's comprehension level. That he is or they are, right, perceiving something that is not in the report. But obviously, that is the reason why I showed the report. Nothing in there that implicate Mark Golden. So please, and Mark Golden, once again, thanks for showing the person who you are. Promise made, promise delivered. Now, I am going to play a clip. And I'm going to go deeper into certain investigation. And the person's in there that I need to respond to. Okay, Ken Roy Smith, Jamaicans still have good people. But what I realize is that there's a lot of people in Jamaica who want to dirty up our future of our kids, the future of Jamaica, by normalizing corruption. And well said. Well said. I am so happy for that. Because it seems like no matter what Mark Golden, right, done, someone is just praying or just hoping to have something to bash him. And every stone that they lift up, every reverse psychology that they use, Mark Golden is simply Mark Golden. Andrew Holness is Andrew Holness, the man who promised clerks. Let me say this and say it straight out from now. Andrew Holness in his first 100 days promised a whole lot of things, and I'm going to go through some of them. Not one deliver. Not one deliver.
Inside them with clocks on him foot.
Andrew Holness promised to have an impeachment clause and said that he believed that members of parliament need to be accountable. Well, guess what? Mark Golden draft an impeachment clause for him because it seems like he doesn't know how to do it. And Mark Golden drafted for him. Did he use it? He stepped on it because Andrew Holness is a corrupter. And I have no apology because we have the evidence of allegations of corruption. Now, let me tell people this. Let me say this. Let me spit it out of my mouth. Andrew Holness' mission, Andrew Holness and his government, their mission is not so much to win the coming general election for nation building. So let me tell you people, Andrew Holness is going to go very hard for him in terms of winning an election by any means necessary in doing his corruption. And you know why? Because he's fighting to save his ass from going to prison. The only reason why he wants to maintain power is not to push the Jamaican agendas as it relates to nation building, but to stay in power, to cover up his wrongdoing. My burden of proof, where he passed laws that even after certain investigation, it cannot be spoken on until 70 years. Who does that? Who does that if they are not hiding something? But let me just smooth down. I'm not rushing anything. Taking it stage by stage, bringing my people through a chronological sequence so that my people can understand, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, and take you through a process of simple understanding. If I have to baby spoon feed you tonight, I am going to do that spoon feeding for clarity. Freedom. I am late. Not sure if you mentioned this already. I was told by someone in Jamaica that the state media reported 11 deaths this week from COVID and people are to wear their mask. Yes, I have some information pertaining to that. I think this is something to watch for when election is.
You know what is there, you know what is on the
Okay. I got you. Right. I am going to venture into a news, and I want my people to follow me. I want you to follow me. I want you to be prudent, right? And, think deep as we are seeing that the Jamaica Labour Party political machinery is on. We have seen Mouthpiece Radio is doing the political bidding and so forth. Now we have seen some guns and ammunition fine. And I'm going to touch that. And so then now the narrative now, right, is to say that, okay, all right, things are looking up on the up and up. People, be smart. So let me say this. We are happy when one gun taken off the street. And so then we applaud that because one gun taken off the street is a potential life or lives in plurality being saved. Albert Clark. Several bloggers were offered $5 million. That's why they are now selling their souls to Bro Devil. Well, Albert, guess what? Mystic Sensation is defending. Let me speak categorically. So anyone who think that they can approach Mystic Sensation, right, and talk about, right, to shape a narrative, this, I can tell anyone, will never, ever happen. Democratic socialism, we are fighting for. Nation building, we are fighting for. Every single Jamaican is a stakeholder in the economy. I hate capitalism, and I am not denying that. So then when you look at me, right, I am a Michael Manley Heights, and I'm not hiding from mentioning that because of the policies, the principles, and what we fight for, right? Wealth equity. We all should do it together, respect each other, grow together. And so then let me go into the news, and because I like to explain when I'm going through the gun find, because I'm going to touch something as it relates to this corrupted government. So without any further ado, let us play that TVG clip. And I presume that most of you would have seen this TVG clip as it relates to the guns and ammunition that were found. All right, so I'm going to play it again and then we comment.
Okay, again, welcome everyone, and happy Friday and happy Saturday to those who are in a different time zone. Let me just go ahead and share. Okay, the link is pinned to join us on screen. As I said before, you don't have to turn your camera on. You can voice your opinion or your point of view, and also the WhatsApp number is streaming across the screen. So if you want to call in and join in the discussion, you're free to do so.
Bless up yourself, Sister Monica. Walking Purpose, Born Comrade, and people. Miss Monica, Walking Purpose for persons, who are, with the Mystic Sensation. Please go over to Walking Purpose, Monica Miles channel. Give her some love, people. Give her some love, right? You will get love over there, right? You will get joy over there, and you will get, most of all, blessings over there. Sister Monica will deliver that. All right.
Okay, it's gun and ammunition finding.
Yes.
St. James. Okay. All right.
Joint Anti-Gang Task Force seized 3 rifles, 4 pistols, and an estimated 200 rounds of various ammunition in Green Pond, St. James in an early morning raid. The police say 3 key members of the notorious Only the Family gang were also arrested. The gang has been on the police's radar for some time now, and we'll have more on this developing story in subsequent newscasts.
Okay, take away that.
Is Jamaica's appetite for brands fueling the counterfeit industry?
Okay, so then we're going to play the other clip that let me explain to my ardent listeners. These are fundamental reasons why I'm showing this clip. and you are going to have an understanding in terms of when I play the other clip, right, and show you. I'm going to make, the two halves become one whole for a better understanding. All right, so play the other clip. So that was in St. James. So people, what I want you to note, I want you to note the parish, right, that these guns were found in, St. James. So we're going to play our next clip way in last year to reflect history, because this is what Mystic Sensation done as an investigator, bringing history, making comparison and analyze the data that we have.
Okay, so this is
U.S. law enforcement agencies are assisting local police to track down the persons behind the shipment of guns and ammunition, which were seized yesterday at the Freeport Wharf in St. James. This was disclosed by Head of Area 1 Police Assistant Commissioner Clifford Chambers in an interview with Radio Jamaica News. ACP Chambers said the police were called to the wharf about 6 o'clock yesterday evening.
Based on observed irregularities, a shipped container was opened by members of the contraband enforcement team in the presence of police, and found in the container were 19 handguns, 6 rifles, 13 magazines for pistol, 9 rifle magazines, and 474 assorted ammunition. Based on the find, a high-level investigation is now on the way involving local and international counterparts. It must be noted that this is the second major seizure at the wharf in recent years, as in 2018, a similar seizure was made for which a gang leader was investigated and prosecuted.
Now, 30 handgun magazines, 9 rifle magazines, 6 Glock.
okay, 1 sec. Okay, Glennox, it's saying that your device is not connected. If you want to try again.
Yeah, might be. Are you out of internet access? That is why it might be. It is saying that the device is not connected, Glennox. So
try again.
Try again, and then of course we will get you up on the screen. Okay, so my ardent listeners, why did I play those 2 clips as it relates to the recent and the prior? Now, let me say this to the people. And what I'm going to say is facts. Now, if you notice the amount of guns and ammunition being found in St. James, the question I'm going to ask tonight, whose constituency is that? Now, the constituency that most of these serious type of weapons, AR-15 as what being showed there, and 16 rifles, most of them have to do surfacing in St. James. And we know who responsible for that constituency. But let me go a little bit further. And so the member of parliament who responsible for that constituency. It's okay when we have few guns coming off the street. And it's a good news to note that a life or two will be saved as it relates to that particular weapon cancelled from the street. But guess what? Guess what? Those 2 guns that being taken off are just a drop in the bucket. Let me say this to you, Jamaican people, and this is the art of the corruption. Some time ago, WikiLeaks cable An investigation are done and revealed the following: that a particular member of parliament has been highlighted in that WikiLeaks investigation report, and that member of parliament, as it alleged by WikiLeaks, being linked with criminal, drugs done, and gun shipment. Criminals, drugs done, and gun shipment. This is not nothing that Mystic Sensation is making up. This is a WikiLeaks case. So then, it's ironic when we have that particular member of parliament claiming that he's fighting crime and he's taking guns off the street. So Jamaica, let me say this to you. Let us be smart. He's just giving up a few to look good. Yeah, he's just giving up a few to look good. Hey, whenever Arthur speak, Arthur always lick the nail on the head. But this time it seems like Arthur they pop off the nail head. Arthur, love that comment. So when we see that news as it relates to the gun ammunition fine and Google Gaga, seems like, okay, all right. Okay, politics around the corner, right? Yeah, we are finding the guns and we are bringing down the crime. Let me tell you something. Jamaican people, as it relates to us in social media, we are not stupid. We are not stupid. What we want to hear is not the branches from the tree that fell from the tree that we are gathering. What we want is to uproot the tree and burn out the root. And we know where the root lies. That's all I am saying on that. Step in gas and move on. Now, the next clip I want to address before I go into, of course, the program. I'm going to start the program today. Program hot tonight. We're going to start it yet. So the next thing that I want to push is the 3 blind mice. And we see how they run. That so-called 3 PNP councillors, right, who had resigned. But let me say this for those who are not aware. 2 of these 3 councillors, they were originally JLP. So let me just put that out there. And so then, when they were over JLP, particularly those 2, and then now get the food over there. And so then run come over PNP, think say they are going to get food. PNP don't work like that. It's a new leader at the helm. Mark Golden is for honesty and integrity. And if you are not representing that system of politics that the 3 blind mice want to still indulge in, is no longer exists under Mark Golden led potential incumbent government. And so then, we are happy to know that uno take where uno self. So then we are going to go through the clips and we're going to hear what they have to say. And then we are going to comment accordingly. So let us find that clip.
Okay.
3.
So welcome to those who've recently joined. 3 Westmoreland councillors resigned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Councillors, to include the mayor, we would have decided to support Garfield James as an aspirant. He has all that it takes to lead this constituency. He's highly qualified, his integrity is intact, he has the greatest level of honesty and decency, he's a people person, and one that has all the charisma that it takes to take us to the next level. It is indeed a day of mixed emotions, mixed feelings. You'll notice most persons are wearing black, sadly. This is not what we would have signed up for when we joined this noble movement, the PNP. The PNP deals with democratic socialism. That's the party that we joined, the party that we love. But in more recent times, we are seeing a shift, a change. I don't know what has risen, but that has taken over. And so the party has started rewarding loyalty instead of listening to the plea of the ordinary people. We are not willing to join the line, having had numerous discussions with the party Iraq in terms of meetings, expressing our collective agreement that we will never support the aspirant at the time, Ian Hales. And failure to do so, then we are going to do what is necessary. To date, they have installed him as the candidate, and as such, he continued on his mischievous way, the only way that he knows how to do best. He has had an illegal conference, divisional conference in Little London, which was staged last week, Thursday, and that conference stated that Juan Reed is now the chairman of the division, and he will represent in the People's National Party. So if I am the sitting councillor and he's going to represent the People's National Party, then how blaming me for stepping aside? Why asking me why am I stepping aside? Those disrespect we will never tolerate. We are independent people by nature, and as such today we seek to make that official by declaring our independence. Happy Independence Day.
There's no more DK. There's no more sister P because of this man. Ian Hales. Comrades, Igan, they will mash up the party. They talk to the nation now. The gang of war. They don't want to listen. The man losing seat. He come back to me again. He said, big man, me no lose no election. I have a mission to complete for the people of Greenville. Do you remember me? He said, yes, man, you know you're from Malikoboy. I said to him, big man, you know, say you sabotage the people of the Greenville division. You sabotage the people of the Sheffield division. You sabotage the people of Little London. And you sabotage the people of Westmoreland. And he asked me how. And I tell him, we are one more truck on a parish council. We wanted one wooden beer, a Darliston, one a White House, one in a deep Westmoreland, to make transportation of water cheaper for the people, especially in the high drought time. He was a minister of state. He never put one fire hydrant before he got here in some house. In one, they tell him, say, you cannot come here. I will not be able to bring my people to you because I cannot sell you. Me can't sell him. Not if you sell.
I do not want any of us to misinterpret why we are here today. It is not a moment that we are relishing. It's not a moment to celebrate. It really marks a moment of sadness in the People's National Party. This is a situation that has reached a stage where, from where we sit and from where the People's National Party sit, cannot be a good day in the life of politics here in Jamaica. This is a situation where you have 3 councillors who are elected representatives in their respective divisions, who to this point have been ignored and the recommendations given have been rejected. The fact is that we have always been consistent with our position. And our position has always been that we would never facilitate a process that would seek to legitimize any individual that is alleged to be inherently corrupt. We made that position clear from the first meeting that we had with the party hierarchy, and they failed to adhere to our call. We actually indicated initially that it is not about Garfield James seeking power along with the support of the 3 other councillors, including the mayor.
Yeah, people, let me speak the honest truth. The longer I listen to this man, it's just that it just burning and just twisting my heart. Someone mentioned in the chat that they are traitors, right? For me, in terms of my perception, I think that they are worse than traitors. Now, but let me say this.
Okay.
What we, as it relates to democratic socialism, is doing is representational politics. The thing what burns me is that they are not even from the constituency. Think of that. One of these persons, one of the 3 persons, lives in New York. So tell me, how you living in New York and you've been a councillor? Be truthful now, and be truthful to yourself if you are listening to me. You who lives in New York, how are you going to represent the constituency? What the party is doing is utilizing someone from the constituency and someone that the people of the constituency want.
And know and trust.
Know and trust. Not because you believe that, okay, all right, Ian Ailes, right, shouldn't be, and you are entitled. Are you serious? Are you serious, sir? We are talking about representational politics. One of the 3 stated that he has never lost an election. That should be a shame coming out of his mouth. And let me say why. Him saying that he has never lost an election, admitting that the people support him fully. But what had he done to the people as it relates to the support that the people ensure that he's always there? The people in Westmoreland, right? They are crying out for better roads. They are crying out for water. And here is someone who admitted that he has never lost an election. What he had done. Let me tell you something, 3 blind mice. We are talking about representational politics, let me put this to you, sir. The era of the dinosaurial politics is no longer exists, particularly when social media and particularly when some platforms are here on social media dealing with checks and balance. So then you have obstacle when it comes to a mystic sensation. You have obstacles when it comes to a Jamaican Carlos. You have obstacles to cross when it comes to a Wayne Lonesome. And I will say no more. So guess what? You see when you now come, and come with enough foolishness. You understand? Take away on yourself. And guess what? People's National Party moving on a little bit lighter, a little bit faster to win the election without the extra baggage that you have presented. As a matter of fact, it seems like you don't want to emphasize a little tribe business in the People's National Party, right? I don't know why them two they went across the floor from GLP and come over the PNP. So we're glad you go back over there. Because of the corruption, no love, just go with the corruption there. So then, I play them, you hear their comments, so it is right for us to go to the person who the people prefer, simply, and hear from Ian Hales where the party is moving with. What we are talking about, democratic socialism, what we are talking about, councillors are to be in the constituency to represent the people of the constituency. Without any further ado, play that Ian Hales. Honey, you're doing a wonderful job. I really appreciate the technical touches that you're putting there. Right? Thank you. Okay. Urel Dama, come to mash up the PNP party. You know, say Urel, but Urel, we are going to break them, man. And we are on social media, you know. If they think that, okay, all right, they look at 6% points that Mark Golden lead, you understand? Because we know the JLP have the money, you know. Just hold on, Urel. Wait until we just play Mr. Hales and let Mr. Hales explain, you understand, what those three destructions, right, wanted to do. All right, play that.
Okay, let me just hold on 1 second. It's quite a bit of comments coming up. Let me just share. Okay, which one was it? Hales React.
Yes.
The man at the center of the latest PNP controversy has responded. Speaking to CVM Live, Ian Hales explains his nomination is the result of democracy and he's here to stay. Natalia Clark documents his side of the story.
Much infighting lingers in the People's National Party as the race to election picks up momentum. The latest spur of chaos to beset the party, 3 councillors in Western Westmoreland tendered their resignations on Monday, citing their refusal to work with Ian Hales, who has offered himself as constituent caretaker despite much opposition. The vice president of the party, however, remains unfazed, adamant the decision was the people's choice.
The people of Westmoreland, you know, they are fed up. They are fed up. And let me tell you why they are fed up. They need road, they need water, they need infrastructure development, they need the tourism sector to work for them. And they want to ensure that them have water in them pipe and they have road. That's why they have decided to support Ian Hales. They have seen all the hard work that have done in the parish of Hanover.
Hales asserts there is no other member of parliament who has gotten more roads and projects in water and infrastructure done than he has in Hanover Western. He was set to face off with councillor for the Sheffield Division, Garfield James, on June 4. But James withdrew himself from the race, citing irregularities with the delegates list, paving a clear path for Hales to the seat. The man at the center of this debacle explains he is a product of Westmoreland and is back to contribute and serve.
But I have one thing to say to everybody, that rest assured with the sufferation that is now taking place upon the people of Jamaica, the People's National Party will be victorious in Western Westmoreland. Mark Golden will be the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, and I look forward in serving with Mark Golden in rebuilding Western Westmoreland. Road, water, electricity, infrastructure development, and creating employment for the people of Westmoreland. This foolishness, this is just a sideshow.
The councillors who have left their post unexpectedly
Okay,
are
take it there. I don't
Brown,
want to see those
councillor for the
people.
Little London Division, Garfield James, the councillor for the Sheffield Division, and Lawton Mackenzie, councillor for the Grange Hill Division.
Yes, definitely. Side like them uproot my free passage of my chest. Right, we're glad we belched them out. All right. So now, these three musketeers, three blind mice, create a little scene for the week, right? And we give them a little audience. But we see that Mouthpiece Radio run on it and bang around in the PNP. Well, Mouthpiece Radio, let me talk to you, Cliff Hughes. Because we know why you are defending the Jamaica Labour Party and campaigning for the Jamaica Labour Party. Right? Because definitely you want to normalize corruption. Mystic Sensation is telling you that. Why Mystic Sensation is telling you that? Because as a current, sir, you are indebted to the Jamaican people, owing your taxes. But the government, particularly the leader, right, is not going to make an example out of you, because the leader himself had ADMAT company in St. Lucia denying Jamaica from the tax, and yet he is the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And so then we are not surprised. We are not surprised, Mouthpiece Radio, that because you want a possible write-off, that you are defending. Now, let me tell you something. For any persons who say that, okay, all right, Mystic Sensation is talking nonsense, then come with the proof that Mouthpiece Radio doesn't owe him taxes. He does. He does. Millions in taxes. So then Mouthpiece Radio, yeah, go and do your thing and go and tell your lies, what you can tell, and go and shape your narrative, right? And go and use your medium, your platform as a political weapon. We on social media, we are here to say, no, you're not going to pass. Not this time, when the country, the Jamaican people, needs it most. We are fighting for our sovereignty. So we are not going to allow you, Mouthpiece Radio, to normalize corruption in Jamaica. Now let me go on the government. We have seen that Desmond Mackenzie and Horace Chang create a mayhem in Westmoreland in terms of that disturbance that they created with those three blind mice. But yet, we know that the Jamaican Labour Party has the bag of money. We know that the Jamaican Labour Party is strong in the billions of dollars. We know that the money, some of the money that is on the campaign trail, right, is the SSL money. Mystic Sensation. Until we get justification as it relates to SSL. We know that the Prime Minister has an account in SSL. We want to have an understanding how much him put in a SSL. We want to have an understanding how much him get out of SSL. And so then, apparently, right, We know that the party is strong with the corruption money. We know that also the party is strong with the illegal awarding of contracts that now pointing to 6 parliamentarians and 28 other persons now identified as it relates to the Integrity Commission having their scope and investigation on these people. So we know you have the money. We know that you have the money. We know that PSOJ political agents are backing your campaign. But my Jamaican people, I want to whisper something to you. You know what Mark Golding have? Mark Golding has natural love from the Jamaican people. People who want to see a change. People who are tired of the promises. People who see a prime minister who promised all that he can promise as it relates to his first 100 days in governance. And not one being delivered. Sometimes when I speak on here, I know that some comrades from the JLP take me on. And I said, sir, I respect your opinion, but I beg to differ if you don't have the facts. And so then when you're talking to Mystic Sensation, all I'm saying, sir, if what I said be an offense to you, let us have a rational conversation in you highlighting your facts. Or if I make an accusation based on documentary allegations coming from a mainstream media, and you have something to prove otherwise, contrary to that report, feel free. And so then, of course, you can speak publicly in my chat room. I will respect you in publicly correcting me. And of course, as a gentleman, I will publicly accept. And if I am in error, I will publicly admit it that I am wrong. But when I have evidence making reference to social media as it relates to allegation, I will use that source to make my claim based on the source that I get that from. Let me see. Jamaican, please, people, listen to the voice of reasoning. Thank you for that. Editing with siblings. Any other thing there? So then,
says the truth hurts.
We don't give a damn about them, Byron. Okay, all right. All right, Maureen. Thank you for that, Maureen. Now, let me tell you something. Yes, the truth is going to hurt. It is not about, okay, you want the party to win because of your party. What are you voting for? Let me say something to you, Jamaicans. That when you vote, you know what your vote's supposed to symbolize? Let me talk to you. Your vote, when you mark that X supposed to symbolize the benefit of a generation upon generation upon generation upon generation. It is not a selfish vote. It shouldn't be that the vote is selfish, that you are going to forget the wrongdoing of this party and as a result of a campaign and the charade, everything just fly out of your head and you totally forget the evil that this party is doing, the lack of checks and balance and transparency to the Jamaican people who voted them in. We have seen the inflation. We have seen the Prime Minister after the people harden their belt. The people suffered under policies. And I will give you this. Right? Where the people have suffered wage freeze for far too long. And then here's the JLP out of nowhere with Andrew Holness highlighting about his policies of controlling the dollar. The dollar is not sliding. And talking about the deficit per GDP ratio. Andrew Holness, control the money into the pocket. None of your policies done that. The people done that. So when you are talking to the people correct. The people make the sacrifice. We make the sacrifice. And what the government has done. Let me tell you what the government has done. The government has dig deeper in corruption. Dig deeper in corruption. And where we should reach today. 20% that we are short of is as a result of corruption. This is the PSOJ stats. This is an economic stats. Speaking about the corruption. And so then when we are here talking, don't think that we are just hitting the government for no reasons. We are just talking about the government, criticizing the government, right? For no reasons. It is clear. It is clear. No other government, when the Integrity Commission was the contractor general, no other government make any attempt to silence them. So why now that this government is making the attempt to silence them? Now that is the next level that I'm going to move to give you further clarity. So then, without any further ado, right? Let us get into the business of education. My Jamaican people, let me say this to you. An educated nation is a nation that automatically have a springboard for survival. An educated nation will acquire in itself technocrats, highly skilled people to make decisions that will propel us to success. But a nation where its core educational values devalue is a nation that bounds to suffer and bound in failure. Why Mystic Sensation is going there? We have seen under this government education has been crippled. And so then we are going to talk tonight. Right? We're going to speak up tonight. We have seen this government have taken 200% raise for themselves and have done many more corruptions. As it relates to 2006 to 2009, we have seen, as it relates to Andrew Holness being the Minister of Education, use that ministry to award illegal contracts to Gavin. Over $28 million worth. That's what he did. And that is where the Integrity Commission began to investigate him between the timeline of 2006 to 2009. My people, I am getting there. I'm going to show you something. We have seen the first rupture to our education system. And the man who ruptured our education system is Rural Reid. Between the period of 2016 to 2019, who was Rural Reid? Rural Reid was Andrew Holness' advisor when Andrew Holness was in the Ministry of Education. And so then when Andrew won the election in 2016, he made his advisor into the Ministry of Education. Hold it, people. We have the facts. We have the facts. I can play the clip. If you want the clip to be played, I can play it and show it. Now, just imagine. Rural Reid know the importance of education. And know that education is vital for the nation. But yet, he didn't seems to care about the education and Jamaican people moving forward in terms of nation building. But he cared about himself, cronyism, nepotism, skullduggery. And so then, what they have attacked, right, is the innocence of our people to move us forward. Rural Reid and his accomplice took from the Ministry of Education over $50 million. Before I go any further, let me play that clip for people to read and remind you, I'm going further, I'm digging deep and show people why we need to stay away from the Jamaica Labour Party and vote People's National Party. Let me dig the drill deep. So play that and let me remind the people, since the people of short-lived memory, that this government, particularly where Andrew Holness is concerned, has damaged our education system. So without any hesitation, honey, play it and go through. We are building something tonight to let the electorate understand. Let me shock the electorate consciousness. Kenroy Smith, wicked people, them let the teachers run and sign for little of nothing, little of nothing, but pay the high-ranking teacher, get big pay. They are devils and fail our teachers. Go and read Jamaicans. Please research. Of course, that's what we're talking about. Thank you, Kenroy, for that. Nigel fraud minister, though, thought people didn't know what the word algorithm means. I'm telling you. All right. So we are going to go through and wake up Jamaican people consciousness. You understand? In terms of moving forward with democratic socialism. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, read it. So my wife will read through that document, and I want to shock the people's consciousness.
Okay, so the title is How Rural Reid and Company Allegedly Scammed Over $50 million from the Education Ministry. When the former principal of Jamaica College, Rural Reid, was elevated to the position of Minister of Education following the 2016 general election, the governing party, led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, was confident that Reid would become one of the most successful education ministers the country had ever seen. Reid was popular among educators in Jamaica, having served as president of the Jamaica Teachers Association from 2005 to 2016. But instead of becoming one of the most successful ministers in Jamaica, Reid chose the life of a political criminal in one of the biggest scandals that Jamaica has ever seen in that year. Allegations first came to light in March when Rural Reid was accused of corruption and nepotism at the Ministry of Education and the Caribbean Maritime University, of which Reid was responsible. Following the allegation, Reid was from both the ministry and the Senate, and that full investigation led by the Financial Investigations Division, FID, and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, MOCA, was launched against the former education minister.
Okay, take away that. So we are not. We want to show. All right, take away that, Tony. Let's take away that.
Okay.
All right. So my people, what I am building here is a chronological sequence of history. You understand, as it relates to the first offender of our Ministry of Education, where Andrew Onis, using that ministry illegally, right, where over $20 million awarded illegally to Gavin, where him and Gavin own companies, that means awarding money to himself. Now, Rural Reid, who was his advisor, came and done that atrocity. Jamaica Labour Party. And when you think that, okay, they stop, they ease up, a more serious, a more vicious attack, the Ministry of Education came either from the Jamaica Labour Party. Another person, Dr. McLean, at this time, drive a sledge that penetrate the Ministry of Education so horribly. This time, they have taken over $125 million from the Ministry of Education. Play the clip and let the people see it. The article, yeah.
Okay. Again, welcome to those who are just joining. Really appreciate everyone who's here and still here.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. Okay. All right, so the title is Disgrace. Minister urged to call in cops as Bernard McLean under scrutiny for $124 million spend. With the Ministry of Education unable to account for how $124 million in taxpayers' money was spent by the Cecil Cornwall Chair Joint Committee on Tertiary Education, Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis has recommended that Portfolio Minister Favour Williams ask the police or an anti-corruption agency to further investigate the matter. In a special probe into the JCTE, the Auditor General also recommended that the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service Institute surcharge action against Dean Roy Bernard, the in limbo permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, and Dr. Grace McLean, acting permanent secretary, on the basis that both officers fail in their fiduciary duties. Bernard is currently involved in a court battle with the government after he was transferred from his substantive post as permanent secretary to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. The Auditor General reported that on January 4th, 2017, Bernard wrote to the Commissioner General of Tax Administration Jamaica, requesting a taxpayer registered number, which is a TRN for JCTE, which was granted the following month. The TRN enabled the direct transfer of funds from the ministry to the JCTE.
Okay.
You want me to
Yeah,
continue?
understand. Stop here.
Okay. After obtaining its TRN, the JCTE informed the High Trust and STA Trust of its own banking credentials for a current account held in the name of JCTE at a commercial bank.
Okay. Cut that. Let me talk to my wonderful, ardent listeners. So, my ardent listeners, a government who is now selling the mission because election is around the corner and said he cares for Jamaica and he loves Jamaicans and he wants to build Jamaica, but tearing down the educational system of Jamaica, tearing down the educational, mashing down the educational structure. This is what this government has done and is still doing. Now, let me step a little deeper of the damages as it relates to now them taking 200% increase and treat our teachers with such a disdain. Right? Albert Clark said, Albert Clark said, don't forget about 500 million Petrojam robbery also. Yeah, we understand that. But you see so much of them, so much of them. But we are just focusing on, the Ministry of Education, right? So, but thank you for that, Albert. I love that. Now, the mountain of damages that done to our sector, but gone beyond that and worse, that the government treated the teachers this way. Now, today, what we have in Jamaica, and let me spread the news, a chronic brain drain, right? That is now waking up Jamaica consciousness. Now, in the coming academic year, many students are going to be without an educator. And the ripple damage that it carry across Jamaica, length and breadth from Negril Point to Moran Point. Now I'm going to show you on clip as it relates to teachers fed up by this government. They are so fed up that the teachers are taking away themselves from Jamaica because they can't afford. They are not getting a livable income to survive Jamaica economy. Kenroy Smith, the government of the day have made and keep making history for all the wrong reasons. Crimes, late payment of the public sector, misuse of public funds, the most strikes in all public sectors. And now that the government is carrying out and rolling out the bag of promises. But Jamaican people, they are not going to be delivered. And we can compare those promises as it relates to the promises he had made, as it relates to his first 100 days in office, and not one being delivered. But I am showing the extent of their damages that they root with criminality. So anyone who want to talk about voting for the labor right, you understand, with the ignorance to normalize corruption, these are the things that you have to make yourself aware of. And Mystic Sensation is here to build your awareness. Other channels are here to build your awareness. And we don't understand as it relates to those vloggers who want to take them buyout. Those vloggers who want to use reverse psychology, right? Kenroy, the most teachers, nurses, doctors resign, the most Jamaican running away from their country, the most hungry people, the highest price in our wholesale and so on. You know, one of my friends, I spoke to one of my friends earlier today. And for some reason, he came up telling me, right, how much a pound for turtleneck. And where he was quoting something like turkey neck is either $700 or $800 a pound for turkey neck. Now you tell me, I know this government have the heart, I walk around the look vote. The government, you know, no shame, right? But we know that he's trying by any means necessary to stay in power because he knows that the day that he's out of power, investigation is going to hit them from all angles and all manner of things are going to reveal. And we are going to help that process as it relates to investigation of this government must be accountable to SSL. We must have clarity for that. Now, we see the Integrity Commission on a mission, and let me tell you something. Greg Christie is someone who has integrity, just like Zara Burton that I spoke with earlier. Zara is a wonderful investigator. She's not political. And I don't want anyone to be cussing Zara Burton. Zara Burton, right? Because I am going to, the next investigation I am going to go to, I am going to give you Zara Burton investigation and reveal it as it relates to this government. So stand by for that because the class is getting hotter. Now, as a result of the pilferings that take place in the Ministry of Education, the wickedness that sheltered over the Ministry of Education, where the government take 250 to 200% raise and treat the teachers like they are nobody and cause an automatic brain drain in the country. You understand? Running down our education system, mashing it down and stepping on it. Now let me talk about schools that are going to suffer the coming academic year. So my wife will take you through the very serious series of schools that are suffering as it relates to vacancies that are open up as a result of the migration. It's crazy, people. So this government find time to start their political campaign, telling lies. Let me show you what is happening with our education system. So my wife will take you through the list of schools that are doing vacancies and we'll put it up that for you. So wife will take them through.
Okay, so apparently there is a lot of vacancies throughout the school districts in Jamaica. Hold on, let me just bring up this other one. And a lot of these schools are not even the traditional schools. So there's vacancies for math teachers, librarians, teachers of English, literacy and stuff like literacy clear vacancy, quite a number of subjects that they're in need of teachers for. This one is for Clancarty High School, and this posting was put out on Wednesday, July 12, 2023. So these are the postings for the teachers that they need. So I guess September morning, if nobody applies, then those classrooms that will not have those teachers. So for Taki High School, need for September 2023, they need 2 teachers for mathematics, upper school clear vacancy, 2 teachers for agricultural science, a reading specialist, theater art teacher, 2 teachers for physical education, 1 teacher for building technology, 2 teachers for English language, 1 teacher for social study and geography, 1 teacher of accounts and information and technology. And then Ministry of Education, Fogar Road High School. This is all the vacancies they have, and you can basically say they have vacancies for all the subjects that are going to be taught in school. And the requirements is for bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, 2 years experience in similar posts, and responsible for what their responsibilities will be. So with this brain drain, with teachers going to greener pastures because the government has basically ignored them and treat them as if, as Baron said, they're nothing, then they're just going to look to elsewhere so that they can sustain their families and themselves. So coming September morning, a lot of students will turn up to classrooms that don't have any teachers to teach them.
So then what they need to tell you is the mayhem for September. So I want people to see that, to imagine the catastrophe that is going to happen. And so then this is the government that is now using mouthpiece radio to tell lies. But we are here to speak the truth, to expose them, and to identify their wrongdoing. Now, having said that, let us move into our final investigation for tonight. So when platform using Zara Burton, right, to highlight, we now are going to use Zara Burton now to highlight Zara Burton investigation about this government. Remember I told you earlier that Zara Burton, right, as a matter of fact, is one of the best investigators in the entire Caribbean, right? She's very articulate, very solid. So we are going to see Zara Burton work on this government. And let me tell you something, people, to show you as it relates to the effectiveness of Zara Burton. That Zara Burton in an investigation or in any of her investigation, dotted the I, crosses the T, and asking the right punches in terms of question. And when we talk about Zara Burton, I am going to deliver a case where Zara Burton deals with the Jamaica Labour Party government. But after Zara Burton did her investigation, dug into the investigation as a result of her probity, skillfulness, right? The government sued Zara Burton, and people, I want you to listen to me. Andrew Holness sued Zara Burton and lose the case. So then if everything that Zara Burton investigated and Zara Burton highlighted as it relates to Zara Burton Company 18 Degrees North, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness took her to court. And guess what? Andrew Holness lose that case. Simple meaning what? Zara Burton investigation, it was solid. Without any further ado, let me show my ardent listeners this. Play the Prime Minister's clip. Editing with the siblings 2023. The next subject is sick people going to hospital, no bed, die. Look at that, dying, sitting in a wheelchair. This is inhumane. Why nobody saying anything about this? Please, sir, do some investigation on this, please. Yes, we are going to dig into this. We are definitely going to, and this is what we are talking about. This is what we are talking about, right? We are not going to make Andrew Holness use clerks and pass again this time, right? We are not going to allow it. We are going to deal with his level of corruption and have him face the criminal justice system if we find that it is possible that he needs to face it based on investigation and the revelation of the investigation and the findings of the investigation. So without any further ado, let me play Prime Minister claiming that he wants to sue Zara Burton as a result of the allegation.
You want this one played first?
No, the Prime Minister, listen. No.
This one. The Zara Burton investigation. Oh, you want this one first?
Yes.
Okay.
A journalist's report has angered the Jamaican Prime Minister. The local media became a buzz Tuesday morning following the airing of television show 18 Degrees North on Television Jamaica Monday night. The show alleged that Prime Minister Andrew Holness's property taxes are in arrears, among other related accusations that the Prime Minister labels as libelous. In a statement Tuesday morning, Mr. Holness says, quote, I totally and completely reject the assertions, inferences, and innuendos made in the television program 18 Degrees North, aired on TVJ on Monday, 30th May 2016. In particular, I wish to make it clear that all my property taxes are paid up to date, and I have never entered into any arrangement with the intent of evading any of Jamaica's tax laws or benefiting from public contracts. I view this matter seriously and have retained legal counsel, end quote. Meanwhile, attorney representing Prime Minister Holness, senior counsel Gordon Robinson, told the C News team that what is being sought at this time is a retraction.
I'm writing to the producers of 18 Degrees North and to Television Jamaica to ask them if they would be kind enough to offer some amends for the allegations that have been made. It depends on what Television Jamaica and 18 Degrees North producers do. If they offer amends and the apology and the retraction and they basically do the right thing, well, then there'll be no need for a lawsuit. But I think it's safe to say that if they don't, that a lawsuit is inevitable. But they must first be given an opportunity to retract.
Okay.
When I found the bird, I
So we're
prayed.
going to take that away. So let we show you. So whenever you talk about to the Prime Minister want to bully people, right, and talk about lawsuit and threaten lawsuit, but he ended up losing the case. So let us play now Zara Burton and hear Zara Burton's response to that lawsuit.
Welcome back to the conversation on the TYT Network. We've got a great guest for you now. Her name is Zara Burton. She's the founder of Global Reporters for the Caribbean, and she's also the lead reporter for 18 North Investigations. Zara, it's been a long time. Welcome back to the Young Turks.
Yeah, it's been a long time and a pleasure. I mean, I think some of you viewers know the background that, you know, we both started Young Turks way back together at some point or another, and you've done a really fabulous job of making it grow. So it's really great to be back.
Thank you. It's probably been over a decade since you've been on.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're doing great journalism. So tell us what 18 Degrees North is.
The name, by the way, is the geographic coordinates of Jamaica. And so 18 Degrees North focuses on investigative journalism that is important to the Caribbean and of importance to the world, even though it comes from the Caribbean. And so we'll do a lot of stories based on political corruption. We'll do a lot of stories based on environmental degradation. We have stories that are related to, for instance, the offshore companies being registered in some of the Caribbean islands. That's a huge business for certain individuals in the Caribbean. But then there's, of course, the corrupt aspect, whether it's Russians who are hiding their money there, that kind of thing. So we do a lot of stories that impact the world, but just happen to be here in the Caribbean.
Zara, it's hard enough to do hard-hitting journalism in America. There's this mythology that, oh my God, America has this great free press. But in reality, in my opinion, politically, they basically work for the establishment. And but there's wonderful journalists here. There's great journalists that have tremendous courage that do work in places like Russia and China, where they're oppressed. So since a lot of the audience is not familiar with how the governments deal with the press in the Caribbean, how has 18 Degrees North been received, given that you guys do hard-hitting journalism and sometimes investigate corruption? Normally governments don't like that. So what's been the reaction?
Oh, well, our prime minister, the current one, he sued me. That was the reaction. I did a story on him being, well, his big house. And this big house, you really asked the question, how was it paid for, especially given the fact that he was basically a lifelong politician. And this house was millions of US dollars, supposedly valued at. And so the questions I raised were along the lines of, okay, where did he get this money? And because I raised those questions, I was sued. And we had to go into mediation, and it was essentially resolved on the confidential terms. But the truth is that I reserve the right to rebroadcast. The thing is up on the internet, on YouTube. And the station here, which is TVJ, when I submitted it for rebroadcasting, they actually decided against rebroadcasting it, even though we won the right to rebroadcast it. So, you know, I have some problems with press freedom because I think we even have a higher ranking than the United States does. But the truth is, in the same way that you sometimes second guess your ranking, I second guess ours too.
So same the world over, you know, you challenge power and you're going to have issues. Well, I love that you're challenging power. So I want to actually juxtapose it because you work for the press here in America, including for Bloomberg News. But before we do that, so where can people find out more about 18 Degrees North? Where can they get your journalism if they want to see that story and others?
Well, that story right now is up on YouTube. So anybody can go and just Google Andrew Honus's Big House, 18 Degrees North. That investigation will come out. You can have a view of it and leave a comment or two and see the kind of journalism that we do. Now, in terms of the investigations newsletter, it's 18DN for 18 Degrees North, but it's 18dn.substack.com. It's a newsletter, it's a paid subscription service. And by the way, the reason that we've gone into a paid subscription service is from a standpoint that when we did, for instance, the Big House investigation, immediately before we went to air, just the teaser alone, our sponsor bailed on us. And so the financial implications are also quite pertinent as well and harmful to investigative journalism. And so because we kind of wanted to tidy up this being beholden to, let us say, company interests or to political interests, it's not that we won't do business with them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I would prefer a model, we would prefer a model whereby the individuals, the citizens, the residents, the diaspora, they, if they're interested in what it is that we're doing, they will support our journalism, the kind of journalism that we bring, which is independent journalism.
And look, it's the same the world over in terms of financial incentives, disincentives, and pressures. So you used to work at Bloomberg News. There was a story out about a week ago saying that they buried a story about Chinese leaders and their houses, literally their mansions, their money, because China said we'll kick out Bloomberg News and Bloomberg from all of China. And Bloomberg mainly makes his money from Bloomberg terminals and had a ton of money at stake. So they spiked the story. And so, but what's your experience in the Caribbean overall, not just Jamaica, because you guys cover the whole Caribbean, versus when you were here in the US and you were an anchor for Bloomberg News?
Controversy was not something that was my MO at Bloomberg TV. I have to be honest about that. So that is not something that I had any experience with at all, being in television while at Bloomberg. What I can tell you is one of the things that really caused me to do this was when I saw Mr. Bloomberg running for president. And there was an interview, I forget which outlet it was, but the point is that I was really surprised.
Okay. All right. So Baron, before you go back into that, I just want to stress something.
Oh, okay.
Regarding the education system and the shortage of teachers. These the students who did the PEP exam, they studied really hard to get the passes that they did. And then coming September morning, you're not going to have the teachers in the classroom. And it's going to be really disheartening for the kids. And how are they going to get the education that they need in order to move on to the next step? Because even in the high schools, the teachers are not going to be there. They studied hard, passed the exam, get to high school, excited about it, and then the teachers are not there. So,
and that's really a fundamental problem that we are faced with right? And so then it's going to be telling on the entire education system, right? To know that our children are studying so hard and being cheated, right, out of their future as it relates to this corrupted government, right? As a result of their actions that push the teachers towards, migrating for better. Because, I mean, I can't blame the teachers as it relates to them, wanting a livable wage and can't afford it. But again, the ripple effect that it is going to have on our children, which in extension have on our generation, right, as it relates to, what my wife spoke about. It's very serious. It's very, a crippling time. And so then we have to decide as it relates to what do we want? Do we want a Jamaica, right, that talking about nation building, right, we're putting our children, setting up their future career, right, to be better men and women, right, so that, of course, they can be, who they want to be as it relates to, their skills, their talent. But so sad to know that our children being really sabotaged as a result of our government doing, where we elect a government, right, to bring a better Jamaica. We are facing with a government that our future look dim and bleaky. Any last word before I go, honey, as it relates to, this situation? Because, the truth be told, let me see, freedom. Okay, so Jamaica, we have to decide, right, to see what is happening around us. When you go to the supermarket, right, you are facing that inflation. The future, let me say this to all of my Jamaican people before I finish my program. Look around you. Look around you. You have witnessed crime. This government said that he will ensure that you sleep with your door open, sorry. I don't know if you want to do that in Jamaica right at this time. The first responsibility of our government is to protect the citizen. But we have seen a government where the Minister of National Security came out into a cable, WikiLeaks cable, implicating him having the association with drugs done and shipment of guns. I don't know how truthful it is, but it is in a WikiLeaks report. And I know that he is aware of it. So how can the Jamaican people feel comfortable to having the Minister of National Security and the Deputy Prime Minister have an allegation like this surround his head? And then for any means, the Prime Minister hugged him up. Right? The Prime Minister hugged him up. And so then, What are we saying? We have seen a situation with SSL. The current government have no answer for SSL, but lied about FBI, lied about Crawl. And Jamaican people, we are thinking to put back this government in power. Say to yourself, if you are a dilated person, ask yourself the question, why my Prime Minister cannot say to us how much he put in SSL and how much he get out of SSL? Why mainstream media not asking these questions? Do you, Jamaican, think that it is okay for Nigel Clark to lie to us about FBI investigating SSL? Do you really think that it is okay? Then if you're willing, Jamaica, to look past these reputable sort of behavior, then if you willing to put back this government in power, you are saying to yourself that you are corrupted and you don't want checks and balance. That is what you are saying, because you are not asking the government to verify. We have a government that cannot verify his wealth. And then all that we can get from him is that we are bad mind. Sir, be rational with your thinking. Jamaicans, rational with your thinking. Be prudent. Ask the question. Why can't you verify your wealth? Well, once again, my ardent listeners, right? We have seen that the Integrity Commission, right, now have the situation been looked to. And let me play the final clip to finish my program tonight, to see if this can wake up your consciousness, right? Or you believe that the Integrity Commission is just out to get our Prime Minister. So the final clip for tonight, please hear what the Integrity Commission has to say, right? And listen. Thank you.
Up first this evening, the country is anxiously waiting to hear details of an Integrity Commission investigation of 6 parliamentarians for illicit enrichment.
28 public officials are also being investigated for the same offense.
Details were contained in the Integrity Commission's 2022-2023 annual report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday.
According to the Corruption Prevention Act, illicit enrichment has to do with a public servant owning assets disproportionate to their lawful earnings and is unable to give a satisfactory explanation to the authorities about how they got such assets. As is usually the case, the Commission did not name the 6 parliamentarians or indicate if they were from the Senate or the House of Representatives. Neither did it give details about the 28 public officials. If an individual is charged with illicit enrichment, they can show the court how they lawfully acquired the assets. In the meantime, 3 parliamentarians, 2 from the lower house and 1 from the Senate, are yet to file statutory declarations as at December 2022. In total, only 71% of the over 44,000 persons required submitted statutory declarations by March 31 this year. And the founding director of the National Integrity Action, Professor Trevor Monroe, has joined the chairman of the Integrity Commission in rejecting a proposal to remove the Auditor General from the Integrity Commission. Integrity Commission Chairman, retired Justice Seymour Panton, said the proposal made by a member of the Parliamentary Oversight Committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act was unacceptable. In an interview with our news center, Professor Monroe argued there is no basis for the proposal.
The Office of the Auditor General and the particular occupant of that office has been a member of institutions that have been set up to investigate corruption. There's no reason why 50 years later, without any adverse result from the presence of the Auditor General on such a body, that the Auditor General should be removed. What this would do is weaken the capacity of the Integrity Commission. So this proposal to remove the Auditor General from the committee should be rejected out of hand, and I support the chairman of the Integrity Commission in his comments that there is no basis for this to be done.
Thank you. So here you have it, my ardent listeners, and please, we really, very happy for you to come by us on Fridays. We really appreciate you give us the strength, you give us the energy to go on, right? Because we all need a better Jamaica. And we're not going to stop from fight, right? We are going to fight to the end, right? We have 2 years in the making, right, to win, right, against a dark evil. And we know that they are going to come with their deceits, they are going to come with their trickery, they are going to come with all what they're coming with, they are going to come with their promises, they are going to come with their monies. But we are here to continue to shine a light, and we are not going to stop shining this light until we see Mark Golding as the incumbent government. Until we see Mark Golding as the incumbent government. Once again, thank you for passing through Mystic Sensation. Love you. Tara, yeah, I see you. All right, thank you for passing through, Tara. Love you, Sister Tara. All right, so I am now handing over the program now to my wife, right? And Albert Clark said, Mystic, keep burning the fire. Thank you, Albert, for that. The fire will not stop blaze. It will getting hotter and hotter as the weeks and months goes by. We are taking it into the general election. We will never, never, ever fade.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Truck Life and Tara saying pure love, my brother.
All right.
Okay, so I have just put the call-in number for WhatsApp in the chat. If anybody wants to call in, just gonna give a few minutes to see if anybody wants to call in. Anybody have anything they need to say? Also, again, the link is pinned, so you can also join us on the platform. You don't have to turn your camera on. So, oops. All right, so I am just going to let me just get rid of these up here. Since you're not using them. Okay, so in the meanwhile, we're going to go into Jeopardy. And we're playing for credit. So $1,000 digital or flow for the person with the most points. And then we have 4 runners up of $500 each, digital or flow. Let me just get the template. So the question is in the form of a statement. You answer in the form of a question. If it's the name of a place or thing, it is what is, and then the answer. If it's the name of a person, then it's who is, and then the answer. I'm going to show you the categories, and then you're gonna throw out some categories. The first one I see, then that's the one we're gonna start with. Let me just share the template. Let me just get rid of this for now. All right, so this is the template. So we're gonna go with our heroes, our symbols and emblems, national heroes, athletes, and civics as usual. Remember I said I got my hand on a civics book, so we'll be having quite a bit of civics questions each week. So you can start by throwing out a category and for how many points. The first one I see, as I said, we are going to start with that. Mix the paper then. Okay, so throw out a category. And for how many points? Can you give me the paper, pen? I don't like that one. I don't want that one. I don't like that one.
Oh, this one?
Yep.
I think we need some new pens.
Oh, we don't have any players tonight? Oh, Daniel, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining. So Daniel is saying heroes for 200. So let's see. The tribe that Nanny of the Maroons was from. Which tribe is it said that Nanny of the Maroons is from? The tribe, the African tribe, Daniel. What tribe in Africa is it said that Nanny is from? And everybody is welcome to join in. Okay, I see the answer that I'm looking for, but you have to put what is, and then the answer.
Okay, so that's freedom.
You can answer, correct, have to put what is. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and reveal the answer. I see what is Ashanti, and that is for 200 points. So, okay, so freedom, that's 200 points.
So
what
freedom.
is Ashanti?
All right.
All right, so freedom, choose the next category, and for how many points? The original players are not here tonight. Chuck Life, okay, Chuck Life, in. Okay, saying athletes for 100. Known as Pocket Rocket. Which athlete is known as Pocket Rocket? Which athlete is known as Pocket Rocket? Okay. And I see the answer that I am looking for, so I am not going to delay. I'm gonna go through this quick tonight. So who is Shelley and Fraser Price? And that is for 100 points. So that 100 points goes to Truck Life.
Okay.
So Truck Life and Freedom is on the board. So Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points?
So the score as it is, Truck Life on 100 points and Freedom 200 points.
Okay, Truck Life, choose the next category. So you're saying athletes for 200. All right. Known as lightning bolt. Everybody run out, skip out, jump out. And remember, name of a person is it's who is. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. All right, so two persons came in with it. Oops. So who is Usain Bolt? And that is for 200 points. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me just refresh there so I don't make a mistake. So Truck Life for 200 points, then Daniel, then Freedom. Right, so Truck Life for 200. So Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? He's saying athletes for 300. Female athlete that was born in Clarkstown, Jamaica. Female athlete that was born in Clarkstown, Jamaica. Which female athlete was born in Clarkstown? What? Sure, Cliff, you know your sport, man. You know your sport, people. All right, and I see the answer that I'm looking for. Known delays. Who is Veronica Campbell?
How much points was that?
And that is 300 points. So
Truck Life.
Let's see. Yeah, Truck Life I saw first, but then Daniel came after. So let me just make sure. So Truck Life and then Daniel. So Truck Life, choose the next category.
So the
for
score.
how many points? Let me just go ahead.
So the score as it is, Freedom on 200 points, Truck Life on 600 points.
Truck Life, so that was a wild guess. All right, so it's saying athletes for 400, so it's finishing off athletes. She got the title Fastest Woman Alive. So she got the title Fastest Woman Alive. Everybody run out, skip out, jump out. Don't crawl out because you might get left behind. Okay, I see the computer, the phone messed you up there, the keyboard. All right, so I see the answer that I'm looking for. Known delays. Who is Elaine Thompson-Herron?
Yeah.
And that is for 400 points. So first on the board with the correct response is Truck Life.
Wow.
Then Daniel. Right, so Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points?
Score as it is, Freedom on 200 points, Truck Life 1,000 points.
Well, your wild guesses are paying off, Truck Life.
Exactly.
I wish in life a lot of wild guesses would pay off like that. All right, male athlete was born in Spanish Town. So this male athlete was born in Spanish Town. Which male athlete was born in Spanish Town? What?
Oh, yeah.
What? I'm on fire tonight, and I see the answer I'm looking for. I'm not gonna delay, and it is who is Asafa Powell. So he was born in Spanish Town, and that is for 500 points.
And who got that?
Truck Life.
Truck Life?
So I guess him. You think guess again, say a lie. Really? Yes, really?
All right, so
Really?
score as it is, Freedom on 200 points, Truck Life 1,500 points.
All right, so Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? Heroes for 100, okay. The first hero named in Jamaica, so our first national hero. Everybody's supposed to be jumping out on that one. Freedom asks Truck Life, what are the lotto numbers? I tell you, because for him, well guess is really paying off. So maybe need to write down some numbers tonight. All right. And I see the answer that I am looking for. So let's not delay. And it is, who is Marcus Garvey? And that is for 100 points. Let me see. Truck Life, you better write down a series of numbers tonight because you're on a roll. First on the board with the correct response is Daniel.
All
For 100.
right.
So Daniel is on the board.
Daniel is on the board.
All right. So Daniel chooses, okay, saying heroes for 500. The Universal Negro Improvement Association in Jamaica was formed by the Universal Negro Improvement Association, which is the UNIA in Jamaica, was formed by, should be here, forgot that part. Ricky Ricardo, welcome, welcome. Only Empress leave now. Ricardo, you're not calling Empress.
Ricardo, call Empress, man.
Chocolate, so where Ricardo come from? Freedom is saying, who's Marcus Garvey? Okay. All right. So I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, who is Marcus Garvey? And that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Teacher P laughing. Let me see. Ricardo, 500 points. Him just
Wow.
and just jump up on the board.
With him big 500 points.
Chocolate said, call Empress and jump fit there.
Okay, so the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points. Freedom, 200 points. Ricky Ricardo, 500 points. Truck Life in the lead, 1,500 points.
Okay, so Truck Life also came in with Marcus Garvey, then Freedom. Ricardo is asking, who names so again? Okay. All right, so me make sure get me KFC on my way home from work. You know, the same mistake as last week.
All right, Ricardo.
All right.
You're correcting that mistake from last week.
All right, so choose the next category and for how many points, Ricardo? Oh, stuff. What's that one? Then it'll make me prosper. Okay, heroes for 400. This hero marched to Stony Gut. Which hero marched to Stony Gut? This hero marched to Stony Gut. Making a history teacher proud now. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, who is Paul Bogle? And that is for 400 points. So let me see. Only one Paul Bogle I saw. So Truck Life. So Truck Life, 400 points.
Okay. So the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Ricardo 500 points, Truck Life increases lead 1,900 points.
So, oops, so far Truck Life is already Truck Life here on a roll. So it's saying symbols for 100. Where in Africa did Aki come from? Where in Africa did Aki come from? If a half-bald dead man have 50 strand of hair, how much strand of fully bald man have? If a half-balded man have 50 strand of hair, how much strand of fully bald head man have? Asking Michael. None. Fully bald head man don't have none.
Kind of fully balded.
All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Let's see. So it is from West Africa. So the Aki came from West Africa. And that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Truck Life, then Ricardo.
All right, and how much points for that?
100.
100 points. So the score, Daniel 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Ricardo 500 points, Truck Life 2,000 points.
Michael, say your answer is correct. Ding, 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 ding.
All right.
All right. So Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? So it's saying heroes for 300. Oh, finish off that one. The denomination in terms of the religious background, the denomination that Sam Sharp was associated with. So what denomination was Sam Sharp associated with in terms of the religious background? You just tell them louder, Baron, them never hear you. Sunshine, welcome. Happy Friday.
Sunshine,
thank you
bless
so much
yourself.
for joining. All right, so I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is Baptist. So he was a Baptist, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Ricardo, 300. So Ricardo first came in, then Truck Life, but he's put who instead of what. Also, Sunshine needs to put what. Daniel also came in, Teacher P. Ricardo said, then my denomination that.
So the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Ricardo 800 points, Truck Life 2,000 points.
Okay, so who got that? Ricardo, choose the next category for how many points. And Michael throw out another riddle. He says, what have teeth and cannot bite? I'm going to say a comb. What has teeth and cannot bite? I'm saying a comb.
I would go with a comb too.
Truck Life, shouldn't you be babysitting Sunshine? What are you doing here? Sunshine, let's stop giving him the looks. Should I stop giving him the looks? All right, so Ricardo said symbols for 200 and kiss up baby for us. Baby should be getting big by now. Them grow so fast during the first year. Says correct again. Ding, 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 ding.
All right.
All right, so symbols for 200. The national flower. Name the national flower of Jamaica. Name the national flower of Jamaica. This one's start. Let me see. Say, watch hibiscus. Oh my goodness. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is lignum vitae, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Ricardo, lignum vitae.
Okay.
And that's for 200 points.
Mhm.
Then Daniel, truck live. Okay.
And the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Ricardo 1,000 points, and Truck Life 2,000 points.
Okay, so Ricardo is saying athletes for 500. He's dying with laughter. What? Look here. Look here. You're not saying athletes finish.
Athletes finish, Ricardo. You have to choose another category.
You have the symbols, national heroes, and civics.
And civics.
Symbols for 300. He's laughing him head off. The national bird is nicknamed. The national bird is nicknamed they. Yeah. Everybody run out, skip out, jump out, roll out, but don't crawl out, or you're going to get left behind.
If you crawl out, you're left behind.
All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. No delays. What is Dr. Bird?
All right.
So Dr. Bird, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in. It's the hummingbird, and then the nickname is the Dr. Bird. All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for. Ricardo. So Ricardo, and that was for 300 points. And then Daniel, Freedom, and Truck Life came back with Dr. Bird. He put the name, not the nickname, initially. So Ricardo, 300 points.
300 points?
Yeah. All right, so, okay, saying symbols for 400. The Jamaican motto and where it appear on the coat of arms. So what is the Jamaican motto and where do you see it on the coat of arms? Sorry. The Jamaican motto and where it appears on the coat of arms, and it's a double point answer. What have legs and cannot walk? Chair.
Okay.
Bed. Table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. And it is what is out of many one people, and it's at the bottom of the coat of arms. And that is for 800 points because it's a double point. All right. Oh, Michael says correct again. Ding, 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 ding.
All right, there you go. So who got that one?
All right, I'm just gonna refresh and see.
Okay.
Okay. Ricardo, 400.
400 points?
Yeah, then, so, I forgot the bottom. So Truck Life got the motto, but forgot to put where it is. Okay. Freedom, I know that it's the keyboard.
So there it is, Ricky Ricardo stepping up on Truck Life. Truck Life is only 300 away. So Daniel is 100 points. Freedom, 200 points. Ricardo, 1,700 points. Truck Life, 2,000 points.
It's 800 points. It's 800 double. So you put another 400 on there.
Oh my goodness.
So Ricardo calling out your name loud and brawling. Look there.
So Ricardo, you know, for the hand me saying about boy road. All right, Ricardo. I correct that. My bad, sir. Let me reiterate the score again. So Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Truck Life 2,000 points, and Ricardo 2,100 points.
Okay, Ricardo is saying, wait, it's at the base, no bottom around here.
Well, just Ricardo. It is at the base.
500. Name the tribe of people on the coat of arms. So name the tribe of people on the coat of arms. Have hands and cannot do anything. Michael is throwing out more riddles.
Oh, okay. I like it because it teased the brain, so I love it. What? Hands?
But cannot use them to do clock. Clock of hands.
Clock of hands, yes.
And the side of chairs, armor, so arms, hands. Clock. All right, so I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is who is the Tainos. So the Taino is a tribe of people that's on the coat of arms, and that's a 500 points. So let's see who came in with the correct response. Oops, there. Oops, you said what instead of who. All right, and I see the answer that I'm looking for. Truck Life, who's the Tainos.
And
Ricardo came with Tainos, but he put what instead of who. Daniel also came. Truck Life also came with Tainos, but what instead of who. They corrected themselves there. Michael says correct again. Ding, 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 ding.
And who?
Hold on. Truck Life. And
Truck
that's
Life?
a 500 points.
Okay. Truck Life pulling away.
So Truck Life is saying national heroes for 100.
Okay, so the competition is on, seems to be between Truck Life and Ricardo. Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Ricardo 2,100 points, and Truck Life 2,500 points.
All right, so he wants heroes for 100. The national hero that's on the Jamaica $50 bill, the regular $50 bill, not this new one. Not sure how that one is situated here. So the national hero that's on the Jamaica $50 bill, that's the regular note. Which national hero is on the $50 bill? Chocolate said, who is? All right, that one is for you. Who was the first DJ in Jamaica?
Daddy Uri or something like that.
All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and who is Samuel Sharp, and that is for 100 points. I think there's some trick answer to that. Who was the first DJ in Jamaica?
Well, that's a Uri.
All right, so I see the answer. Let me just refresh and see who first came in with the correct response. Ricardo, who is Sam Sharp, and that is for 100 points. Then Ricardo, King Stitch. He said it's King Stitch.
Yeah, he's right. King Stitch is King Stitch. He's right.
I'm clueless when it comes to
no, he's right. He's right. King Stitch is correct.
All right. So Ricardo choose the next category, and for how many points? Ricardo said me alone answer No, Ricardo, no.
So the score as it is,
Yeah.
Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Ricky Ricardo 2,200 points, and Truck Life 2,500 points.
And he's saying heroes for 200. Jamaica's first prime minister. Everybody run out, skip out, roll out, jump out. Who was Jamaica's first prime minister?
All right.
Boy, Ricardo, the way you type fast, trust me, your letters them get mixed up. The way you're typing fast, the letters get mixed up, but I know what you're typing there. All right, so I'm just gonna reveal. I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it's who is Sir
Alexander Bustamante,
and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Okay. Ricardo, 200 points. Then Daniel.
Ricardo, 200 points. Ricardo's first?
Yeah. Ricardo said my finger them a sprint.
Okay, so Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Ricky Ricardo 2,400 points, and Truck Life just 100 points in difference, 2,500 points.
Okay. Ricardo said then watch Michael Manley. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ricardo. Ricardo said may have on my glasses, Truck Life, so I have to see. Okay, Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Heroes 500, okay. He is known as the Forgotten Prime Minister. Who is known as the Forgotten Prime Minister? Which Prime Minister set up NHT? Big him up. Michael
Manley. Michael Manley did that.
Welcome, David. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining.
Bless yourself, Delco David. Delco Deya.
All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. So the forgotten prime minister is Donald Sangster. So who is Donald Sangster? And that is for 500 points. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Who's PJ? No, sir. So, running in and jumping on the board, him not even take time and step on. I mean, he make a big leap.
What, Delco that?
Delco.
All right, David.
That's even Daniela sent him back home.
On the board.
That was Donald Sangster. Then Ricardo.
All right, so how much points for David?
500.
What?
That's why I say he not even step on the board. He just make a big leap.
Okay. So the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, David 500 points, Ricky Ricardo 2,400 points, and Truck Life 2,500 points.
Truck Life said Daniel start fret no. Okay, David, choose the next category and for how many points?
So Daniel start to fret now.
heroes for 300.
All right.
The two national heroes were hanged the same day. This is supposed to be were. Just overlook that age. These two national heroes were hanged the same day. So which two national heroes are we speaking about? Hold on, let me look up something, guys. Hold on. Before I reveal that answer, let me double check something. That's what I mean.
That's correct. So you look up it.
Because I have something. One, not both. Okay. My goodness. One sec, guys. Just give me a minute here. There. That was May 32, 1832.
Mm-hmm. Just seeking some clarification, guys.
Yeah, because it says they were hung on the same day. So I'm just trying to clarify the dates because I see a common answer in the chat. Let me see if anybody put otherwise. Welcome, Mr. Gilmore. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining.
Bless up yourself, Brother Gilly.
Paul Bogle and Randy Williams. Oh my God.
Gilly, what's up? What's going on, Gilly?
Who was?
Sam Sharp and Paul Bogle. Gilmore is right.
Sam Sharp and Paul on the same day. All right, so let me just look on this date. Where did I just see it? All right, so it was October 24th. Oh, okay, this one is October 24th. Hold on. Take me back out to that. That's not it. So October 24th, and this one is October 24th, 1865. Okay, yeah. So it's Sam Sharp and Paul Bogle. The reason why I'm checking is because I have something different. So it is overlook the second part. It's Paul Bogle and Sam Sharp. So that's for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let's see who came in with the correct response. My bad on the second one. All right. Let's see who first came in. Truck Life.
All right. So how many points for that?
That was 500 points.
500 points?
Yeah, I think. No, sorry, 300 points. 300 points. So Truck Life, and then Ricardo, Daniel, Truck Life say, lie me, right?
Okay.
And Mr. Gilmore.
So the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, David 500 points, Ricardo 2,400 points, and Truck Life in the lead 2,800 points.
Said, who was Ronnie Williams? He was an actor, and in terms of
Ronnie Williams,
for
yeah.
stage
Yeah.
play. And then who discovered Jamaica? Christopher Columbus, they say.
Columbus, yeah.
All right, so
First voyage to Jamaica 1492, second voyage 1494.
all right, so let's see. So Truck Life, choose the next category. Okay, saying heroes for 400. The national hero. This national hero married their cousin. This national hero married their cousin. Name the national hero, and it's a double point answer.
This national hero married their cousin.
Yes. This national hero married their cousin.
So that pluralized.
It's anything we added. And it's a double point answer. All right. So this one was correct. Sharp. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. And it is, who is Norman Manley? So Norman Manley married his cousin, and that is for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response.
So I'm saying alive right again.
You said, but Anne, who they on the $50 bill? No. You'd have to tell me, Daniel. Remember, I'm not there to hold any. So you'd have to tell me who's on there. I'll have to look online to see. I thought it was Marcus Garvey on it. I'm talking about the previous note, not this new note. So first on the board with the correct response is Truck Life.
How many points?
400.
Wow. Truck Life is
then Ricardo. Then Mr. Gilmore. Truck Life say, Allah, me get it again. Me tell us, you need to write down. You need to write down.
All right. So Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, David 500 points, and Ricardo 2,400 points, and Truck Life 3,200 points.
So Michael said Christopher Columbus did not discover Jamaica. The Tainos did. I would beg to disagree, because the Tainos were already living here. They can't discover something that they were already inhabiting.
Yeah,
it has to be an outsider who discovered that this island existed.
Yeah, well, Michael, definitely I do agree with you, right?
To say where did they sail from? Where did they fly from to discover it? They were already inhabited here.
I think what he's saying, the word discovery is the first person who is in existence of a particular thing. That is discovery. First person. And to the fact that the Tainos are here, were there, right? Then how could Christopher Columbus, in the technical way, he would be correct, right? Because discovery, take the definition discovery. The first person, you understand, to establish whatever.
But so where did the Tainos come from? If they discover it, then wouldn't they have to travel from somewhere to know that it exists?
No, I don't think so. It's just that, okay, if I find this and nobody else, right, find it, I discovered it, right? In reality. So is disputing history where he's right, right? Because if you take the definition of discovery, right, is that first person in existence of whatever. So he's technically right.
Okay.
Yeah. So although
Mike is saying your explanation is correct, sir.
Okay. All right.
All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Welcome, welcome, Mixin. Happy Friday. Oh, it's double. It was a double point. Did you give him double point?
Which one?
For Ricardo. Lord have mercy, me say my shout at
Okay,
you in a
so,
thin tone of words. Hold
the
on.
200 was double?
Hold on.
So let us correct that. Sorry, Ricardo. We will correct that if it needs.
Norman Manley.
If it needs to be
That was
corrected.
so 800 points. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Yeah. 800 points.
For what?
Ricardo.
No, or you mean Truck Life?
For Truck Life. Whoever got Truck Life.
Okay.
I'm looking out for Truck Life points.
So it's Truck Life.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Or you got sidetracked. Or
Yeah, sorry about that, Truck Life.
Life.
So let me just reiterate the score. Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, David 500 points, Ricardo 2,400 points, and Truck Life 3,600 points. And that's good sportsmanship coming from Ricardo, right? Highlighting that Truck Life need to advance.
He said Ricardo is a better scorekeeper than the scorekeeper himself. He wants justice for
They'll go David Byron, look at the score no boss. All right, man, let it go.
Justice for Truck Life. Okay, justice has been delivered.
Justice delivered, Truck Life.
All right. So Mixon is saying Brandon and enough love back
Blessed,
to you.
blessed, blessings.
And much blessings to you. All right. What is the highest point in Jamaica?
Blue Mountain.
Is saying 100. Yes, Blue Mountain.
Blue Mountain is the highest point of what? 7,402 feet above sea level.
Okay, so civics for 100. What was the nickname given to Bustamante by his supporters in 1943? So what was the nickname given to Bustamante by his supporters in 1943? Okay, Michael is saying correct again. What is craven? Oh my goodness. Greedy.
Mm-hmm.
What is Ali? All right. Let me see what's going to happen if I have to give you guys a clue.
Michael Burns, Scoundrel Bustamante.
That one is harsh. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Ricardo, I'm too young for this. What is? I don't have a clue. Not even a wild guess. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. And what is the chief? And that is for 100 points. So he was nicknamed the chief.
So who got that?
So let's see. It is drum roll.
Truck Life?
Mixin.
Go on, Mixin.
On the board with
on
100.
the board.
So Mixin, choose the next category and for how many points? You know, matter you're born in the 90s, Ricardo, we were all taught history from years before we even saw the light of day.
That's why they need to bring back civics.
Because all this is from a civics book. I made sure I put my hand on one because we need to learn our history.
Exactly.
And we need to learn about governance and all of that. It has everything in there. No, you were not. What, you skip history class? Mixing is said for 200. The Jamaican movement for the advancement of literacy was established in this year. So Jamal, anybody remember Jamal for persons who could hardly read and write, the adults? This was where they would go to learn to read and write. So the Jamaican movement for the advancement of literacy was established in this year. Which year was it established? All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. And it is What is 1974? So not that long ago. But unfortunately, it was phased out. So that is for 200 points. So I only see one. Okay, no, those are too close. So let me see which one came first. Oh, and not even this Ricardo boy and continue shouting.
Big up yourself, ghetto girl. Morning, morning, morning.
Good morning, ghetto girl. How are you over there in Germany? Happy Saturday.
All right.
All right. So, Delco, what is 1974? Then Ricardo, Mixin, Truck Life. You still talk about me too young for this. Let me sit this one out. So, Delco, 1974,
Delco?
that's for 200 points.
200 points.
So, David, choose the next category and for how many points?
So the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Mixing, hold on, I didn't get Mixing score.
I'm going to give a Mixing score 100.
100? After I saw look a bit, I can't remember. Sorry, Mixing. Okay, let me repeat that. So Daniel 100 points, Mixing 100 points, Freedom 200 points, David 700 points, Ricardo 2,400 points, and the big man Truck Life 3,600 points. Seems like Truck Life is going to take this tonight.
All right, so 300. The community of Steertown is in which parish? So which parish do you find the community of Steertown? And that's for 300 points. All right, no delays. I see the answer I'm looking for, and what is St. Anne, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct one. You get a girl, so big up on a nice, clean self.
Yes, get a girl, big up your nice, clean self too.
Mixing Celal Byron Bueno.
Leave me alone, Mixing. You score.
At least a catch by the board, Mixing. Oh my goodness. Ricardo, 300 points. What is St. Anne?
Okay.
Then Mixing, Truck Life.
What, Ricardo, 300 points?
And Michael also answered.
Okay, so the score as it is, Daniel on 100 points, Freedom 200 points, Mixing 100 points, David 700 points, and Ricardo 2,700 points, Truck Life 3,600 points. Can Ricky Ricardo catch back Truck Life? I don't think so.
But look on that Mixing.
I think Truck Life is taking this one.
There's going to be a 6 balls tonight.
Yeah, man, some 6 balls there.
Okay, Ricardo said for 400. The former prime minister, this former prime minister was once a manager of the band Scatterlights. So which former prime minister was once a manager of the band Scatterlights?
Shit.
Shh.
Since I started this fall.
You want to say the book is off?
You should get a carbon. That's the Saturday.
Was one sec, guys. Not of it. It's not giving me on this. All right, so I'm going off what the book gave me.
Okay,
so
then,
let's
go
see. Just going off what the book gave me. And I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, who is PJ Patterson?
I think you might read.
Yes, the book said PJ Patterson. So when I saw a lot of Seaga running out, I had to double check.
Because I thought it was Seaga too.
Okay, so that is for 400 points.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Daniel.
Okay.
400 points.
400 points?
No,
Woo!
sorry, he says, what is?
Oh,
Hold on. Hold on. Somebody said, who's Portia? Then he went Edward Seaga. Oh, it was, okay. Mixing. Who is PJ Patterson?
Whoa,
So I went down
somebody
to
in a problem
Mixing.
Out of 400 points?
Yes.
Somebody in a trouble there.
And then Mixing go back and write out the whole name. Who is Percival James Patterson? You said, what is Daniel?
Should be who is.
All right, so the final one on the board, and this one comes with a double your score.
Whoa. Can't touch it yet.
What is voting for or against the proposed government policy called? What is voting for or against a proposed government policy called? And it's a double score answer.
My goodness.
So you're going to get 500 points on your existing score, and then that score is going to...
This one is big. Who is going to get the big numbers?
The overall score is going to be doubled. So, what is voting for or against a proposed government policy called? Somebody check it fast.
Why? See the answer there? The answer is there.
I see it. Okay.
The answer is there. Hey, look here. I said you can't put down this. You can't put down this gentleman. Right? Oh my goodness. What is going on?
All right, you go back and correct the spelling, but that's why we're not marking for spelling. So it is, what is a referendum? And that is 500 points added to whoever gets it, and then double their overall score.
Let us see what is going on.
All right, so let's see who first. All right. Let's see who first came in with the correct response.
Let us see who will take the night away.
All right. Ricardo.
Wow.
So 500.
500 added to this.
And then
times
double.
2. 6,400.
Then it's a mistake of 100. So.
Okie dokie.
Oh, Mixing mover from him. Mixing moved away from him. All right, so Ricardo got that for 500 points and then doubling his score.
And
we have a 6 boss.
Long time.
Chocolate said, Daniel, that was me a few weeks ago, stuck on 100. Oh my goodness. So congratulations to all the winners tonight, and thank you guys for participating. And congratulations to everybody who made the board. Well played game. And thank you guys for still being here. Who was Adam's first wife before Eve? That one, I'm going to have me scratching all the hair off my head before I can answer that one. Byron, you know that one?
No, sir.
We have to enlighten us, Michael. Don't have a clue. We can only go by what history told us. Mixing say if you're not say 6, no girl don't want you, Daniel. You're welcome, Freedom.
Okay, so
Freedom is in the top 5.
All right, so the score as it is, Freedom, top 5, 200 points. And of course, a credit of $500 credit awarded to you, Freedom. So you're gonna need to have the points.
Okay, so
Mixing, 4th in 500 points. David, 3rd, 700 points. Truck Life, 2nd, 3,600 points. And Ricardo took the night away with 6,400 points.
Okay, Freedom. So Ricardo said with him Freedom. So I'm putting my IG info in the chat. It's coming up now. So you can send me your number that you wanted the credit to be sent to, and it's $500 Digicel or Flow. Send me the number and then indicate whether the provider is Digicel or Flow, and you will get your credit.
Okay, so you need to send us your number, Freedom.
All right, so Michael is saying Lilith was before Eve. Then where did Lilith come from?
Okay, so well, you asked the question.
Where
Lilith came from, right?
Me can't ask it, so these that me have to ask it, Me have to ask it,
Well,
because
he has to enlighten us.
Yes, you can donate your credit, Freedom. So Ricardo is giving his credit to Dave, you mean David, Lord Jesus, to wait, but let me go back up before I start talk foolishness. Okay, Truck Life. Oh my goodness, Ricardo, I must think of it. Truck Life is sending its credit to Daniel, so put Daniel beside Truck Life.
Oh,
thank you so much, Truck Life. And so we will do it here. Great sportsmanship.
So Daniel.
Like to share.
So to Daniel, right?
Yeah.
And Freedom is giving.
I will have to look to see what he says. David is saying is 791 Flow. He wants
Okay,
it.
so 791 Flow.
Mm-hmm.
Flow. Okay, we have that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have mixing number, right?
Yeah, long time. Truck Life is saying good game, Daniel.
All right.
Okay, mixing said a regular 880. I have that already.
Okay, 880.
Okay, saying can you donate to someone, please?
Freedom?
Yes, he said to donate it to someone. All right, so right Eileen beside that.
Eileen?
Mm-hmm.
Arlene?
I-L-E-N-E.
I?
Mm-hmm. L-E-N-E.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have her number. So
all right.
I'll give it to her. She'll appreciate it.
All right, so that is good.
So Michael is saying the Bible was edited by the Europeans who took out most books in the Bible.
That's what Michael is saying?
Yes.
Well, we know that, well, that is true. That is true. Of course, the Bible was edited, right? And roughly about, I think, 8 to 9 books were deleted. We know about the book Ruth, Maccabee, and some others. So
Okay, so thank you for donating your credit. Freedom, I'm gonna send it to someone who will really appreciate it and in need of it, because from time to time I do give credit to that person because I know it's difficult.
all right,
with
so
them.
this is it. Right?
Yeah. So I will donate your credit.
And I will just talk about these.
All right.
Here.
If the girl said, question, which prime minister is the most liar than thief? Put the answer.
Andrew!
Put the answer.
Andrew!
Chocolate said, Daniel, as a more fancy deal
Well,
with you.
nobody can get that answer there before me, you know.
Oh my goodness. Makes it him feel bad that him kick Daniel off the board. But don't worry. It worked out for Daniel anyway.
Okay.
Chocolate was gracious enough to have his back.
Yeah.
Makes it sound low, Andrew. Chocolate, so Mr. Barron gets all the points for that answer.
All right, man. Tell you, Chuck Live. You know, so nobody is supposed to get you're supposed to get the answer there. Before me, no Chuck Live.
Makes sense. Oh, Jesus. We don't come off a oldness nose.
Well,
so if we're gonna get some rope and stuff to climb off, so it's not go so easy.
Well, we have to big up get a girl to ask that excellent question.
So Ricardo, something I like how Empress Miss Internet. She might be in the country because the last time that's where she was, and she don't have data. The internet is bad when she's there. Anytime she's not here, that's where it's there.
All right, let me just go up on the one with up.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for your continued support as usual, and to all the persons who again recently subscribed. Thank you, and welcome. And for those who have been with us from the beginning to now treading the journey, thank you. We really appreciate each and every one. And you know that we don't take it for granted. I cannot stress it enough that you could have been doing something else on your Friday night and you choose to spend it with us. So we are really grateful and we don't take that for granted. And Freedom was saying, this was my first time participating. Yes,
all right, and thank you for that, Freedom.
For the first time, you jumped on the board.
Well. Exactly.
Okay, Mixon is saying, great live, Mystic, enough love. Thank you so
blessings,
much.
blessings always. All right.
David is saying, you're always welcome to come back, Freedom. Yes, always welcome. Everybody's welcome with open arms. All right. So guys, remember, those who have not registered yet to vote, make sure you go out there and register.
Yes.
Those who are still on the fence, they need to come off the fence and make a decision, because the longer you stay on the fence, the more difficult things going to get. We need to make up our minds what we want for our country, what we want for our future, our children's future. You know, to get our country moving forward, we need to look and see who is best in leading us, who has integrity, who is honest and stuff like that, who has a better plan to lead us into the future, or who definitely have a plan to lead us into the future, because so far we have not seen any plan from this incumbent government. It's just bagamouth and nothing else. All talk and no action. A lot of empty promises. They always say empty barrel make the most noise and silent rivers run deep. Okay, so with that said, we are going to say again, thank you so much for joining in. And until next week, love you all. Stay safe. Have a blessed and productive week, and have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Make sure you get some rest. Those who are not going to be working, those who are going to be working, hope work is not going to be hectic for you. And again, safe travel on the gravel until next week.
All right.
Love you all.
And see you on Friday again. All
Sure,
right.
guys, so we outside.
All
Safe
right.
travel. Enough love. Stay safe. Thanks. Bye.